State Legislative Council election. Method of voting. Marking of preferences. Disclaimer. This training material is for use in training of election officials. It should not be referred as guidelines of ECI. In case of any variance in this training material, the ECI guidelines or rules or laws shall prevail. Learning outcomes. At the end of the session, participants will be able to cite the method of voting in State Legislative Council elections, explain the procedure of marking of preferences. Method of voting. An elector shall record the vote by marking preference for the candidate of his or her choice against the name of the candidate on the ballot paper. Preference are to be indicated in figures, that is, in the international form of Indian numerals or in the Roman form or in the form used in any Indian language, but shall not be indicated in words. Elector shall record vote on the ballot paper with the article supplied for the purpose. A ballot paper marked by any elector other than an article supplied for the purpose will be invalid. Marking of preferences. In single transferable vote, every elector is required to indicate his preference for the different candidates. An elector has to place on his ballot paper the figure 1 in the place opposite to the name of the candidate for whom he wishes to vote in the first instance. The way of marking of preferences is shown on the screen. Elector may in addition place on his ballot paper the figure 2 or 2 and 3 or 2, 3 and 4 and so on for other candidates in the order of his choice. The marking of figure 1 is obligatory and the marking of figures 2, 3, 4, etc. is optional. A ballot paper will be valid if the figure 1 is properly marked by the elector indicating his first preference. A ballot will be treated as invalid if 1 is not marked in front of any candidate. A ballot will be treated as invalid if figure 1 is set opposite the name of more than one candidate. A ballot will be treated as invalid if figure 1 is so placed as to render it doubtful to which candidate it is intended to apply. A ballot will be treated as invalid if figure 1 and some other figure like 2, 3, etc. are set opposite the name of the same candidate. A ballot will be treated as invalid if there is any mark or writing by which the elector can be identified. A ballot will be treated as invalid if preference is marked in words. A ballot will be treated as invalid if preference marked in combination of languages, example in English and Hindi and so on. If an elector has made first preference in figure 1 and the other preferences are not made or are indicated not in figures but in words, then those preferences should be treated as having been not made. In other words, the elector will be regarded as having indicated only his first preference. However, if preferences are made in particular manner which apparently points to attempt to reveal the identity of the elector to the candidate, that can be treated as leading to some causal connection between the mark and the identity of the voters, then such ballot paper would be liable to be rejected. There is any figure marked on the ballot paper other than the article supplied by CEO and purchased from Messrs. Mysore Paints and Varnish Limited, A ballot paper marked with any other article shall be rejected. Secrecy of voting to be maintained. Marked ballot paper shall not be displayed to anyone. If elector violates the secrecy, the ballot paper should be taken back, and on the back of the ballot paper, polling officer to write back the words "cancelled, voting procedure violated," and shall put his signature. Such cancelled ballot paper shall be kept by polling officer in a separate cover which shall bear on its face the words "ballot papers, voting procedure violated." In this video lecture, we have learnt about the method of voting and marking of preferences in State Legislative Council elections. If you have any doubts or queries related to this video, you can contact to the mail address as shown on the screen. For more election related material, you can visit the web address as shown on the screen. Thank you.